it's Jordan. Welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day. Just getting ready to make some breakfast. I'm making some warm chia chocolate pudding. It is so good. I've been having it, I think, for the last 4 days now. So I've got the recipe down and I want to show you guys how I make it. You will need 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, 1 cup of unsweetened plant milk or whatever kind of milk you like. You'll also need some cinnamon. I'm using a very, very small date that I'm actually going to chop up. That is going to be my sweetener, but you could add a different sweetener if you like. 1 tablespoon of cacao powder, which is like cocoa powder. It's just kind of the raw version of the cocoa plant. It's got lots of antioxidants. It's a superfood. And then some vanilla extract, and I'm just adding that because my milk is not already flavored with vanilla, so I like to add some vanilla. We've got 3 tablespoons of chia seeds going into saucepan. I love chia seeds because they're just such a great balance of fiber, protein. They've got omega-3s. You can also make this as overnight chia pudding because the chia seeds, they just like gel up in any kind of liquid and they make it nice and thick and creamy. That's why so many people make chia pudding or they add it to oatmeal. It just makes things nice and thick and yummy. So we've got 3 tablespoons in there and I'm going to add 1 cup of milk, non-dairy milk. Just add my chopped date. I like to use a whisk to stir it up. Because the chia seeds do get all like jelly and clumpy, they can kind of clump together and like form different little like mounds or like different pieces. So I like to whisk it so they're all incorporated and they all thicken together. And I've just got it on high heat so it'll come up to more of a simmer. You don't want like a rolling boil, just a good simmer. That's what's gonna help the chia seeds thicken faster than they would having to sit overnight. So if you have time to cook yourself a quick breakfast in the morning, this literally only takes like 5 or 10 minutes, or you can do it overnight in a mason jar. It's just been so cold here. I'm really loving having something warm in the morning. That's what you're looking for. See how fast it's thickening up? Add my flavorings. So we're doing 1 tablespoon of raw cacao powder or unsweetened cocoa powder, whatever you have. Oh, it smells so good. Just a dash or 2 of cinnamon and my vanilla. I heard that you don't ever want to add vanilla extract to something that's already really boiling because the vanilla will just evaporate off. I don't know if that's true. Any bakers out there, let me know. I don't know how that would work in baking, because wouldn't it I don't know. It's probably wrong. I just whisk it again to make sure all that cocoa powder is incorporated throughout. Turn it to low, put the lid on, just for like 2-3 minutes. I have chocolate all over my hand. It literally smells like a cinnamon brownie. Added some raw almond butter and some wild blueberries to the top. You can leave those off and just eat it as is, or add peanut butter. I added peanut butter the other day. That was amazing. Chocolate and peanut butter, just amazing. Apples, whatever kind of fruit you like. I just do 1/4 of a cup. And I'm gonna go eat this. Wow. It's lunchtime now and I still have not put on any makeup. Oh, I feel icky today and it's just cold and yeah. Anyway, I've just been working away all morning. So now I'm hungry. I need to refuel with something that is going to keep me going. I'm just reheating on the stove a butternut squash chili that I made last night in the slow cooker. I'll leave the recipe for that in a link down below in the description box if you want to check that out. The only difference that I made is it's actually a butternut squash black bean chili, but I didn't have black beans, so I just crumbled up tofu and put that in there. as a protein source. So yeah, it's pretty good. I didn't have any vegetable broth, so it could have had a little bit more flavor. I just had to use water. So I added a couple extra spices, like a little bit more chili powder, some dry oregano to it. And now I am just going to add some baby spinach to it just to get some extra greens in. And I'm also gonna make a little avocado toast bagel. Here we go with the spinach. Just a handful or so. It all wilts down anyway. And we'll just mix that around. It's my avocado toast bagel. It's just 1/2 an avocado mashed onto these bagels. And here are the bagels that I've been using. It's by a brand called O'Dough's. I think I've shown these before, but they're like bagel thins and they have different flavors, and I think they also have sandwich buns. I love them because they're made with sprouted grains and they're gluten-free. And they just have really good ingredients, lots of fiber for only 100 calories. I also mashed into the avocado some of this seasoned salt. It's now dinner time. Well, it's not dinner time. It's time for me to make dinner, but it's almost 5:30. Jack's on his way home. Just starting to get everything prepped and ready to go. Tonight's gonna be a super simple meal. So I haven't really talked about today's what I eat in a day theme, but it's kind of like what I've been doing and what I've been eating to balance blood sugar. So you guys know I have, sorry, my camera is like, whew. Okay, sorry. You guys know I have PCOS and I struggle with some hormonal imbalance, and insulin is a hormone that's connected to blood sugar, but hormones all communicate with each other and they all work together. And when one is out of balance, it's likely that the others are somewhat out of balance or could be contributing to the imbalance. So many individuals with PCOS struggle with balancing blood sugar, and unbalanced blood sugar can lead to things like metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, and ultimately, you know, type 2 diabetes, where your cells are like, nope, we don't want any more insulin because you keep using it. So we don't want that to happen. I was on a plant-based diet that relies a lot on grains. I don't eat really anything refined or any white sugar, you guys know that. But when you're relying on a lot of grains and a lot of fruit, for someone that has blood sugar issues, they may need to take a look at that. I've been rereading the book Woman Code by Elisa Vitti. I love that book. It's like a resource for me. I'm constantly going back to it. It's a really great chapter in that book on how to balance blood sugar. So I kind of pull from that and just pulling my own, you know, knowledge from school of how insulin works and how diabetes develops and metabolic syndrome develops and things like that. All that to say, you'll notice that a lot of my meals today were very low in sugar and had minimal added, even natural sweeteners. So I keep my servings of fruit to about 1/4 of a cup. I think fruit is great, but berries are lower in sugar, still getting tons of antioxidants. And if I'm going to eat a lot of carb heavy foods, I like to have them at lunch because I always do my walk with the dog right after lunch. So I know I'm gonna like burn those carbs off, and I've got the rest of the day to let everything kind of burn off. Because when you intake glucose or fructose, that gets dumped into your cells right away, ready to be used. It's when we just go and sit down and don't do anything that ends up being stored as fat when we have too much extra glucose, which can create a whole host of issues if done chronically. What I've been doing for dinner is trying to have a lower carb dinner. Of course, if I'm craving something or out to eat, I just go for whatever. That brings me to tonight's meal, which is going to be a veggie burger and some roasted vegetables along with a salad. Here's what I'm using for my roasted vegetables. I'm using all frozen vegetables, you guys, because they're the best thing ever. I'm just gonna combine some frozen broccoli, some frozen Brussels sprouts. I think I'm gonna cut these in half, and some frozen cauliflower. I think I am actually gonna chop up some red onion slices. I just love doing roasted vegetables along with onion, any kind of red onion, white onion. makes them taste so good. And I'm just gonna toss that with a little bit of avocado oil, because when they are frozen, you guys, they will tend to just steam in the oven. If you want them to get nice and like roasty and brown, you wanna do a high temperature, and I just add like a teaspoon or so of oil, not too much. And over here I have everything I need to make our salad. I've got a little bit of chopped green leaf organic lettuce down here, and then I just got this spring mix, so I'm gonna add that in there. And then our dressing, super simple. You guys know I've reclaimed my love for olive oil since my Mediterranean diet video. So I am going to be using this extra virgin olive oil. This is actually a really good brand, and this oil tastes very good in my opinion. It's very olivey, which I like. And I'm going to use a white balsamic vinegar. I like to do an equal ratio, so a couple tablespoons of oil, a couple tablespoons of vinegar, and then I'm going to add more of this seasoned salt that I used before, because it's just a nice blend of salt, garlic, and white pepper, and some herbs, so it goes really good in anything, but especially in a simple dressing. I don't have these very often, but I've been craving one, so we're gonna have a Beyond Meat Beyond Burger. These are so good. These are more processed, so I don't consume these all the time, but in my opinion, it is a decent option for when you have a burger craving. It's something that I'm trying out. I've been doing it for a while. If you guys haven't noticed from some of my videos, just a little bit more focused on healthy fats and protein, getting my fiber from vegetables, nuts and seeds, things like that. I feel pretty good so far, and I do notice that I'm able to go longer between meals and not feeling like I need to snack like every 2 hours, which is really helpful when you have a busy schedule and it's like constantly thinking about food is so annoying, and I don't get as hangry. Sometimes I still do get hangry, but it's definitely helped at night because I don't crave sugar as much if I have a lower carbohydrate, more like focused on healthy fat and protein meal at dinner, because then my blood sugar doesn't spike and then insulin doesn't overcompensate and take away all that sugar from my blood, and then I'm hungry again in 15 minutes. And I know a lot of people experience that. I get questions all the time about sugar cravings and things like that, especially in the evening. If you have a lot of carbohydrate at dinner, that could be why you're experiencing that crash. Like just a half an hour, 45 minutes later, you're hungry again and you're like, what the heck, I just ate, like this is insane. If you have questions about that, just leave them down below in the comments. I definitely do still have sweets, like I have really dark chocolate, like at least 85% dark chocolate, or an herbal tea in the evening. Like I love a peppermint because that really helps with sugar cravings. Like as soon as I have a sip of that peppermint tea, I no longer want anything sweet. So that's really helpful as well. It's just really good to, you know, once you're done eating at night, stop eating, give your digestion a break, and you'll sleep a lot better as well. Here is my plate. I've got the roasted veggies here. I just tossed them with salt, pepper, thyme, and oregano, and that avocado oil that you saw. And then in the last 5 minutes of cooking, which they took about 25 to 30 minutes in a 400-degree oven, a tablespoon or so of balsamic vinegar just to flavor it up. Got the salad over here. I added some chopped cashews and some Kalamata olives and the dressing. And then we've got our Beyond Burger here. It smells amazing. And I'm just gonna top mine with some Dijon mustard. Really hope you guys enjoyed this What I Eat in a Day on balancing blood sugar. If you want more like these, leave them in the comments below. Like this video and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And if you like videos like these with these extra little nutritional tips, you may also like my weekly newsletter that I send out on Wednesdays. So make sure you sign up for that. The sign up is also down below in the description and it says newsletter, or I'll put the link here. All right, guys, I will see you next week for another one. Bye.
Stop.